I'm going to be making an autumn themed dish today. I've got this mould from I think it was AliExpress, I can't remember. I'll check and put it in the description box. And I can't remember if it was classed as a plate or a dish, but it is quite deep, so I think I'll use it as a dish today. But it does look like a plate. And I've also got these lovely autumn leaf serviettes, and I've got this little leaf mould, and I'm also going to be using this resin crate from Honey Rose. This was from Temu and I got this on the penny deal, so I'm going to give that a try today. So I'm just going to go and get some of this mixed up. This is 4:1 by weight, so I'll get some of that mixed up and then I'll see you back in a minute. I've got some mixed up now and it's actually mixed in really nice, so that's a good start. So I'm just going to start by pouring it into this plate stroke dish mould, and I'm just going to pour it really slowly because there's all these details around the outside here that it needs to fill into. But it's a nice clear mould, so I can see if any bits are missing. So just going to get that, follow that all the way around. Nearly there. And I think I'll top it up to the top. Actually, I won't top it up just yet. Let's see if I can. Got a little bubble there, I can see. So just going to give that a little tap. Right, can I scoot that over a bit? Right, let's see if I can get some into this. So I'm just going to pour some of this into these leaves. They're going to be really thin, but hopefully they're demold okay. Get some into that one. And that one. That one. That one. That one there. Right, let's just use my little stirry stick and get that out to the edges. So these are going to be pretty thin. Not too worried about the stalks or anything like that, because they'll probably break off during demold anyway. So let's just get these topped up. That one needs a little bit more. Some more in that one. And that one's probably okay. That one's okay. See if I can get some into there. It's okay. See if I can give it a little shake. It's quite sticky, this mould. I should have put it on a piece of towel or something to move it easier. Right, scoot that one up to the top and just fill in these last ones. I think just these top two. I don't think I can do that bottom one. I think that would definitely break. So just that one left. Right, so that's all those done. Just pop a little bit more in that one. And maybe a little bit more in that one. I think the rest will probably be okay. And then I'll just use the leftover of this in this plate mould. Right, so This says 30-minute demold, so I'll see you back in 30 minutes. These are all cured up now, so let's pop these ones out first. Nice and gently. Bit of over pour on that one. Well, I'll do that later. Let's get the rest out. Lovely. Very pretty. Like those. A few of them that's going to need some tidying up, but that's okay. They're looking nice and coming out of the mould well, so that's good. Right, so that's all the leaves out, and let's get this one out. Oh, it's not really stretchy mould. Oh, I might have to use my belly to get this one out. Right, so I'll do this one off camera because I think I need to sit it on my lap. Try and get those hearts out first. This is out now, and it was actually not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Once you peel round all the edges and get the hearts out, then you can just roll back the rest and it comes out not too bad. So really pleased with how that's come out. No bubbles around the actual hearts themselves. A few little bubbles around here, but that's okay. It's the bottom. Right, and I have made some more of the little leaves, and later on they would go around the outside of the plate, but we're going to do something else with those in a minute. So first of all, I want to use this serviette in the middle. So I'm just going to pop that to one side for a minute. Actually, so this Let's Resin pot that comes with the mixer, that's the right sort of shape that I want for the middle of there. So I'm going to use that as a template, and then I can see what part of the image I actually want. So I think probably around there. So I'm just going to draw around this and then cut that out. So I'll just quickly cut this out and then I'll see you when this is ready. That's all cut out now, and I've just cut around on the inside of that line that I made, so that will fit in there nicely. Yep, pleased with that. Perfect little shape, that mixing pot. Right, so now I'm just going to use some Mod Podge, and I'm just going to give the bottom of this dish a coat in that. So nice generous helping down on the bottom there. And then I'm going to carefully lay my serviette down into the middle of there, and then just rub that out towards the edges. And I'm going to give this a top coat of resin afterwards, so that will seal it in as well. And then I'm just going to add some more of the Mod Podge over the top and get that all sealed in. And then just using some of that Mod Podge on my finger just to make sure those edges are nicely sealed. Smooth that over. Right, that's looking okay. Just put that last little bit in the middle there and give that a rub down. So we'll pop this to one side to dry now, and while that's drying we can get on with doing some of these leaves. So let me just get a piece of kitchen towel, I think, and I think I'll pop them down onto there. So let's just get these arranged on here, and I'll do that one, but I don't think I'll use it. I think it's a bit large, that one, but I'll use most of the rest of them. So let's just get all of these on there. Right, I'm going to be using the Let's Resin alcohol ink in orange and red, and I've got a spray bottle here with some 99% alcohol in. So just give these a quick shake, take these lids off, and then I'm just going to give the leaves a quick spritz with some alcohol, and then drop some of the alcohol straight onto the top of these. So a bit of the red first, and then some of the orange. Put that on there. Oops, got that squirted out. And then another little spritz with some alcohol, and then just blend that all in. So same with this one. Let's just pick that up, give that one a little squirt, and then I think I'll add a bit more red to that one, and then blend that in. Get around those edges as well. Make sure it's all covered. So let's just pop a bit more of the orange on there, and we'll just pop that to one side to dry, and then do the rest of these. So a bit more of that orange on there, and then brush that in, and a bit more of the red on there. Make sure it's all coated, and then pop that one to the side to dry, and then carry on with the others. So let's just give that a little spritz. That one could do with a bit more red, and blend that in. Right, so that's what I'm going to be doing to all of them, so you don't really need to see me doing that to all of these. So I'll get these done, and then I'll see you back when they're all dry. These are all dry now, and I'm going to use some of the Pebeo Gold gilding wax just to give them some extra detail. I'm just going to use what's in the lid there, and just use a little bit on my finger, and then just rub over the top of these just to give them some highlights and bring out some of that detail of the leaves there. So just a tiny little bit, not too much. So I'm going to do this to all of these, and I'll just do this one with you, and then I'll do the rest on a quick fast forward. So I'll see you when these are all done. Right, that's those all done, so we can move on to the next bit. These are all dry now, so next I'm going to use some UV top coat nail varnish. So just going to give these a nice glossy finish. So just putting that all over the top of these leaves. So that's that one. And then that will also seal in that gilding wax. And then I'm just going to cure that with a UV light. I'm using the Let's Resin rechargeable light. I'm going to do this to all of these and then I'll see you back when they're all done. These are all cured now and looking lovely and shiny. So that's how they're all looking. And I've mixed up a small amount of the Let's Resin 1:1 epoxy resin, and I'm just going to add to that some of this fine gold glitter. So I'm just going to add a tiny little touch of that into there, and then get that mixed in. Not sure if that's enough. Actually, yeah, that'll be enough. Not worried about the bubbles because I'm only doing a really thin layer. So I'm just going to pour some into the bottom of this dish now, and then just work that all the way round to the edges. Probably could do with a little bit more in there. That would do. And then again, just swish that around and get that to the rim of that plate there, or dish, whatever you want to call it. Right, nearly there. Just that last little bit there. And then just bring it back into the middle. And we'll let that sit and level off. Let's pop the lid back on that before I knock that over. And I'm just going to give that a quick torch with a cigarette lighter. Pop any of those bubbles that might be on the surface there. Right, so while we're waiting for that to dry, all these leaves I want to put around the outside. So hopefully I can do this without dropping them in the resin. So just randomly, don't really want two leaves the same next to each other, but still keeping it nice and random, and some that way up and some the other way up. So just gonna place these around the edge. Should have enough here. Move them over a bit, and I'll just carry on adding these. Right, so I think that's spaced out as much as I want them spaced out. So I'm just going to use some B7000 glue and then glue them down with this. So a little squish on the back there, and then attach that to the plate. So I'm just going to do this to all of these and get those into place. So I'll finish this off and then I'll see you back when this is all cured. This is all cured up now, so that's how it's looking. Nice. But the only thing that's bothering me now is I've been looking at these hearts around the outside, and you know when you look at something for too long, I'm starting to think they look like teeth. I don't know, maybe it's just that time of the month. Well, for like Halloween, I mean, not... Yeah, let's move on. Right, so I think around the outside with the hearts, I think I want to put some of the gold gilding wax around the outside. So I'm just going to put a small amount on my finger, and then just go round this outside edge, and then just give those a bit of a highlight, I think. Highlight those teeth. See how that looks like that. Blend into the other bits of gold that are on here. Don't want much, just a little bit. There we go. And I think I'll just do a little bit more. Right, nearly there. That would do, I think. There, yeah. Let's just do some on the tops as well, I think. Go all the way around. I love the smell of this gilding wax, it's lovely. Right, nearly done. There. Right, let's just take that glove off. So you could either use this as a dish, because it is quite deep, or that you could put it, I've got this stand that I made for a previous make, or you could put it on a stand and then have it like that. So very versatile. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and stay tuned for the pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.